UAVs, those good old planes without a pilot on board, matter of fact with no one on board. These little monsters do scores of works for us that otherwise would have been too costly. From wildlife management, traffic management, agriculture, filming, border patrol, and wait a minute, we covered all this in one of our earlier videos on the topic of unmanned aerial system. So how about we refer to that later? For now, however, let's look at what Mr. AbdulRahman has for us in one of his UAS lessons.
Hello, my name is Instructor AbdulRahman Kamal, and I'm an instructor in the UAV department for IATC College, Riyadh. Today I would like to introduce about UAV, or shall I say UAS, which means unmanned aerial system or unmanned aerial vehicle, but we like to normally call it unmanned aerial system because it's a whole system, not just the aircraft. Anyway, the introduction today would be the categories of UAVs, and there are around 7 categories in UAVs. The first one being HALE, which means high altitude long endurance, and the second one is MALE, medium altitude long endurance. The third one being TUAV, medium range or tactical UAV. The fourth one is close range UAS, and then the fifth one is MUAV or mini UAV, and then we have the micro UAV or MAV, and then we have the NAV, nano air vehicles, and that's the 7th one. And what does it mean by HALE? It means high altitude long endurance, and endurance basically means how long the aircraft can stay in the air without coming back to the base. So these HALEs, they normally operate over an altitude of 50,000 feet plus. And endurance is around 24 hours on these. Some of these they carry weapons, but mainly they are used for surveillance purposes due to high altitude. And they also have a long range, so most of the time they are used with the satellite system. And we have an example of this, which is the Global Hawk, a HALE UAV, which is manufactured in USA. The next one is MALE, which is medium altitude long endurance, and this one operates between 20,000 feet to 50,000 feet, and the endurance is also 24 hours, and the role is similar to HALE but shorter range, because we normally use the antennas for this, a radar to control this, normally Omni and similar radars to control the MALE. And an example of this is Predator, a MALE UAV, and the range is all in excess of 500 kilometers. It's still good. And then the next one we're going to talk about is TUAV, medium range or tactical UAV, and this normally operates within the tactical range. Whenever there is a tactical range, this will operate within that. And this range is normally around 100 to 300 kilometers. And it's a bit more flexible because you can deploy it in various locations based on requirements of tactical military commanders. So you can basically assemble it and disassemble it in different areas, in different terrains. So this is why this one is quite handy to use. And an example of this is the US Army Shadow Tactical UAV. And then the next one is the close range UAS, and this is generally smaller than tactical systems. They're used by mobile army battle groups, operate at ranges of up to about 100 kilometers, and most popularity, these are most popular. So they are used in both military and civilian roles, which is really good. And these have their roles are diverse, as because they can be used for reconnaissance, they can be used for target designation, traffic monitoring, also can be used for power line inspections. And a simple example of this is the Boeing Scan Eagle, which is vastly used all over the world. Then we have the small size category, and this one is normally divided into 3 groups. The first one being MUAV or mini UAV, and the biggest one of these are under approximately below 20 kg, but not as small as the micro UAV, and they are capable of being hand launched, and their operating range is about 30 kilometer, and used by mobile battle groups, used for the diverse civilian purposes also. And then the next one is the micro UAV, which has a wingspan no greater than 150 millimeter, and they have a low aspect ratio, low wing loading, and the low wing loading is a problem for fixed wings because of the wind can basically make it fall down, so or come down from the sky. So that's why they normally use a rotary system that is more vastly used because of this reason. And MAV or micro UAV is normally they are required to work in or operate in urban cities and towns, and most of the time they are required to fly slowly in most cases, so rotary systems are more popular in these roles. The next one is the NAV, nano air vehicles, and an example of that is the Black Hornet UAV used by the British Army, and they're very effective when they are used in groups called swarms. In swarms they can be used for enemy radar confusion. Most systems are still being researched, and ultra short range surveillance, so like a 1 kilometer, 2 kilometer, and they also use MEMS technology, which is mini electrical mechanical system or micro electromechanical system technology. And they are for example of these, you can use them in a hostage situation in a building, or etc. So these can come in use for that. Thank you very much for being with us, and until next time, goodbye.